Good morning. Thank you for joining us on THV 11, streaming with THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Meteorologist Tracy Bean has been breaking down your forecast. Got more details ahead. And now Ashley King is in the house on this second day back to work and back to school for many of those kids out there. And hopefully it's an easy traffic day. Maybe we all got accustomed to what it's like on Monday and Tuesday. We do a little better job.
Yeah, it was busy on the roads already this morning as I was coming in. Everyone
So never
was
mind.
getting an early
Okay.
start. Right?
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
So
not,
wrong.
maybe by the time 7:30 rolls around, traffic won't be so bad because everyone is already out.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's very busy.
Well, we don't need all that.
It's unusual.
Settle down. Yeah, don't attack the day too early. Yeah, we are going to see a warm day again, so maybe they're beating the heat. I don't know. Yeah, we've got lots of folks out and about already. We are going to see some rain chances push back in, but this morning, again, it's just a little muggy out there. We are going to see that sunrise coming up a little bit before 7 a.m. this morning at 6:57, and that sunset at 7:30 this evening. So I've got another softball game to go to tonight, so we'll be out there at the ballpark with the big lights on, and hopefully it cools down a little bit. Right now, it is 64 in the capital city. We've got some south-southwesterly winds, continuing to see those increase in wind speed as we're heading into late morning and the afternoon. And as we mentioned earlier, that pollen count for trees and grass is very high, so make sure you take that medication this morning before you go, and don't forget it in case you got to take it again halfway through. I always forget to bring it with me, and then I'm suffering the rest of the day. Currently, again, across the state, mainly 60s. We're still looking at Fort Smith there at 70 degrees, but it is going to be a bit of a warm and muggy day. It's going to be a little windy today and tomorrow with those warm temperatures and that southerly flow, and then late Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to start to see rain chances pushing into our forecast. And we're also going to see those temperatures go down just a little bit. Now, our average is actually in the 60s, so we're well above where we should be. But by the time we get to Easter Sunday, we're going to see those highs in the mid to upper 60s, and we're going to start out next week as well in that range. So getting back to where we should be, it'll cool down just a little bit before we start trying to attack summer a little bit early. So, Ashley, let me know how the roads are doing this morning so far. Things were pretty calm and quiet around the metro.
Things are looking pretty good, Tracy. We don't have any accidents or major slowdowns, just a little bit of volume already as I was coming in on 6:30. So I pulled this up. This is Interstate 630 around the Baptist Hospital exit. And you can see plenty of cars already out on the road. It's only 6:02. Usually it seems a little bit lighter in the morning. You know, as we get closer to the 7 o'clock hour, the 8 o'clock hour especially, we see a lot more volume. We can get a look at our live traffic map, and no major slowdowns. We're not seeing yellow or any orange just yet. It's still green all around the map, but this is what we're dealing with right now, and we'll check this again coming up.
Developing this morning, Pulaski County deputies are investigating an early morning shooting that left 4 people hurt outside a nightclub. Investigators say it happened around 1:30 Sunday morning as people were waiting in line outside Bada Bing Grill 2. That's on 145th Street. Deputies say an argument broke out, gunfire followed, and the victims later showed up at a local hospital with gunshot wounds. Detectives are still working to piece together exactly what led to the shooting, and they are now asking anyone with information to come forward as this investigation continues. A deadly crash in northwest Arkansas is drawing reaction from Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders after the arrest of a man investigators say was in the country illegally. State police say 45-year-old Jose James failed to yield on Highway 62 in Avaca, crashing into a motorcycle and killing a married couple. Troopers also say James had an outstanding warrant in Los Angeles. He is now facing charges of negligent homicide and driving while intoxicated. Governor Sanders calling the crash preventable and pointed to the Department of Homeland Security funding shutdown, saying it pulled immigration officers off the streets. Now to a THV 11 update. U.S. Marshals arrested the former head of the Arkansas Medical Board over the weekend.
Brian Hyatt is now facing federal charges after agents took him into custody Saturday. A federal grand jury indicted the psychiatrist on kidnapping charges, accusing Hyatt and members of his staff of using drugs to hold patients against their will at his clinic while he was billing Medicaid and insurance companies.
Hyatt is also facing more than 200 civil lawsuits where patients accuse him of abuse and coercion. Now, his state case is still moving forward, and he is scheduled to be back in court on May 4th. Judges will decide whether he is fit to stand trial after he was involuntarily committed to a health facility last year.
Arkansas Public Television Network is setting aside donations as uncertainty grows over its future with PBS. Supporters say any money given to keep PBS programs on the air will be held in a separate fund and returned if the state ultimately cuts ties with the network. The governing board recently paused plans to leave PBS for 180 days after public backlash. But leaders say losing federal funding has made the network's more than $2 million annual dues harder to afford. Lawmakers are now preparing to decide funding during the upcoming legislative session. Baptist Health in Fort Smith is shutting down its labor and delivery unit next month, a major change for families in the River Valley. Hospital leaders say the services will close in April, pointing to rising costs and a sharp drop in births from about 90 deliveries a month to around 20. And about 40 employees will be affected by this as the hospital shifts resources, plans to invest more than $20 million into other services at the campus.
Graduation plans are changing for seniors at Hendrix College in Conway, and not everyone is celebrating.
A turf renovation project is forcing the ceremony indoors, cutting capacity and sparking frustration among students just weeks before their big day. THV 11's Tamer Knight joins us now from the studio with the latest from campus. Tamer?
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. Many seniors say the changes came too late and are leaving families scrambling. Now, with a smaller venue and a split ceremony, students worry their graduation experience won't live up to their expectations. Graduation at Hendrix College has traditionally been held on the football field, but now it will take place inside at a much smaller space because of a turf renovation project. Students say the announcement came after families had already booked travel and made accommodations. But to accommodate guests, the ceremony will be split into 2 parts, plus students get 11 tickets instead of 4 per student. Now, we spoke to a student who asked to remain anonymous.
And there's a half-hour intermission. They swap the entire audience. And it's bizarre because not only are they either going to have to repeat things that they have said, or just not share it with that part of the, like if you have a kid with the last name V, you just get to watch it from a screen in the other room.
In a statement, the college says the new plans allows for more families to participate and provides an accessible ADA-compliant venue. But students disagree, saying accommodations for guests with disabilities are unclear and limited. Now, we're told students asked why the ceremony couldn't be moved off campus and say they were told that that option isn't available and the football field itself is unsafe due to aging turfs. Hendrix graduation is scheduled for May 16th. Reporting for THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
All right, Tamer, thank you for that update from Conway. Well, speaking of college graduates, they are stepping into a tougher job market this year. New data shows unemployment for recent grads now higher than the national average, adding pressure for young adults trying to launch their careers. Experts say the transition from school to work can be stressful, especially for those carrying student loan debt. They recommend building professional networks early, connecting with alumni, and using campus career centers to strengthen resumes and job searches.
It's really important for individuals that are in school to be really focused on their network. Probably a lot of things that you have done that people can put on their resume and articulate to a potential employer.
There is some encouraging news, however. Companies often ramp up temporary and contract hiring during the summer months, giving graduates another path to get their foot in the door.
And now let's check back in with meteorologist Tracy Bean as she watches to plan our day. The temperatures get warmer, warmer, warmer.
They do. It's one of those times you wear the sleeveless dress, the sleeveless again, or whatever for the kids to school, and then they get there and they need a jacket inside because it gets a little chilly. We are starting out this morning a bit muggy out there in the 60s here in central Arkansas. And we're going to see some winds kick in again today and some gusts around 25 to 30. This is going to be a windy day for sure, and that southerly flow will continue to warm us up into those mid to to upper 80s and mostly sunny skies today. And your Wednesday is going to be very similar. The winds will be a little bit calmer, but still breezy as we are heading into the afternoon. But changes are headed our way as we are watching rain start to push back into the forecast. We could see some heavy rain and also a few storms. And some of these could be a bit more organized. We're keeping an eye on that for you. But looks like the entire state will get a good bit of rain. Exactly how much? Well, we'll have to talk about that more coming up in my forecast. But for now, we're headed off to break. Grab that cup of coffee and stick around with us. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes.